Chapter 16 AmIthe Prey. Li Muyang passed through the variously sized and scattered stilted buildings within the fort and arrived at the gates. Stepping out of the gates, what struck him the most was the forest ahead on the big road. On the twisted branches of each tree hang numerous corpses in tragic states of death. These bodies, exposed to the wilderness, seemed to have been hanging for a long time, yet no scavenging creatures had come to peck at them. As Li Muyang waited by the roadside for a while, he saw a carriage emerge from the forest laden with corpses. The coachman, clad in black robes with even his face hidden beneath a hood, looked sinister and mysterious. After he stopped the carriage by the roadside, Li Muyang saw that there were 3 grimy children sitting in the carriage. The children were all terrified and helpless, huddled together in the carriage, motionless. The black-robed coachman glanced at Li Muyang and said in a hoarse voice, "The lambs you requested from Black Cloud Fort." Among these 3 children, Li Muyang keenly identified his target. Little Wild Grass, a huge, pale yellow health bar floated above one of the children's heads. She wore thin and filthy hemp clothing, her hair a mess, her face smeared with mud, seemingly no different from the other children. But without a doubt, she was Li Muyang's target, the heroine of this cultivation game. What followed was a smooth handover and payment of money. Li Muyang counted the children and paid the coachman, then led the 3 children back into the fort. The 3 half-grown kids, about 10 years old, shrank back and followed Li Muyang like frightened birds, seemingly too scared to do anything but obediently follow. As Li Muyang walked through the fort with the children, he couldn't help but feel like a shepherd for a moment. However, the refinement demon sect really raised actual goats, albeit so mute strange ones, but they were indeed beasts. The lambs before him, on the other hand, were real humans. Looking at the 3 trembling children and listening to the villagers laughing and pointing by the roadside, Li Muyang curled his lip. In this day and age, people are still practicing traditional demonic techniques. Look at the refinement demon sect, a leading power occupying hundreds of cities, that has already developed new methods of demonic cultivation, abandoning the inefficient practices of killing and extracting bones to refine souls. Such a waste to kill people. The refinement demon sect simply abandoned the traditional method of killing for cultivation, instead breeding 2-legged beasts and monsters like the goat demon to replace human sacrifices. As for the mortals living under their domain, they all had to pay taxes to their refinement demon sect, do labor, and work hard. The exploitation creating Pharaoh Vegetatsby put to Li Muyang, as a demon cultivator of the new era, naturally despised the traditional methods of the game's dungeon. But he wasn't concerned about it. After all, the worldview within the game dungeon was bound to be different from reality. In the last tutorial he cleared, the Chanyuan dynasty hadn't seen a demon cultivator in 1,000 years. Li Muyang brought the 3 half-grown children to find Steward Wu and handed over the pouch of money. Steward Wu counted the silver taels in the pouch and glanced at Li Muyang. He said, "Choose one. You're in such a ghostly state, don't go up the mountain anymore, lest you die up there. Choose one of these 3 lambs to take home. You're responsible for their care. Just don't feed them to death. From now on, you can move freely in the fort." As Steward Wu finished speaking, a dialogue box popped up in Li Muyang's me. "Steward Wu, please don't. I can continue to go up the mountain. Fall to the knees and beg for mercy immediately." The 2 dialogue choices that popped up in his view left Li Muyang dumbfounded. What's the deal? Having a game character choose a child to take home Andres? Why does this seem like a matter of life and death? These 3 kids looked harmless and timid. What is Leng Akea so afraid of? Li Muyang fell silent for a moment and chose the first one. After Li Muyang had made his choice, the game character immediately pleaded with Steward Wu. But after hearing out the game character's pleading, Steward Wu's ice remained as cold as ice. "Leng Akea, don't play dumb with me here. You either choose one to take home or get out of the fort. Those are your only options." The steward's attitude was extremely unpleasant, and Li Muyang fell silent for a while. A new dialogue box popped up in his field of vision. Choose a child to take home. Li Muyang turned around and looked at the 3 children in front of him again, a boy and 2 girls, all around 10 years old, dirty and seemingly like homeless disaster victims. There seemed to be fear in their eyes, but for some reason, perhaps influenced by Steward Wu's words, Li Muyang felt a hint of danger when looking at the 3 children again. These 3 kids don't seem as simple as they looked hesitantly at the 3 children, and eventually chose Little Wildgrass, who had a light yellow health bar above her head. Her. I choose her. Li Muyang pointed at the dirty little girl. Since it was a nurturing game, there must be only one choice, and this girl was to be taken home. If he lost this opportunity for adoption, then the game would inevitably end in failure. Li Muyang thought so. But the moment he spoke and chose the little girl, she did not say a word. Her head bowed. Shrinking back, however, the light yellow health bar above her head instantly turned into a red enemy health bar full of hostility. This is freaking hostile now. Just because I chose you? Li Muyang stared at the little girl speechlessly, fully confirming that their three brats were not as simple as they appeared. These aren't three harmless little lambs. They are clearly three little monsters in sheep's clothing. And after Li Muyang had made his choice, Steward Wu went straight inside, fetched an iron chain made of fine steel, and threw it out. Remember to tie her up before you go to sleep. Keep her a bit away from you. Steward Wu glanced at Li Muyang and said, but don't tie her too far away. I foresee she can't absorb your yang energy. She will go mad. I'll be damned. Li Muyang wanted to throw the iron chain at Steward Wu's head after hearing this. So these three little brats indeed were not easy to deal with. After bringing them home, he had to chain them close to absorb his yang energy. What in the world was going on in this fort, buying such eerie children? Li Muyang was full of doubts, but Leng Aki obediently picked up the chain and walked away, and little wild grass, with the red health bar above her head, followed Li Muyang closely. She did not even need Li Muyang to call out to her, as she had already sensibly followed him. Such a docile-looking little girl should have been endearing. But looking at the red health bar above her head, Li Muyang felt speechless. This damn kid is really good at pretending. Thankfully, it's just a game with hostility alerts. If he encountered such a terrifying dead kid in real life, Li Muyang feared he would have been deceived by her seemingly innocent facade.